questions about the quiz feature in Canvas, so I thought I'd kind of walk you through how to create a quiz. I'm just going to go through the quiz settings for right now. I'm in my course here in quizzes. I'm going to select the plus quiz button to add or create a quiz. I'm going to name it, and of course I'm going to stay in this tab for this video. The Rich Content Editor allows you to add your instructions or any other information needed. Your quiz type right here. There are 4 different types: a practice quiz, which you can give them that may not be for a grade, but maybe just to learn some new information, see what they know. Graded quiz are your typical quizzes that you're probably going to default to. A graded survey is basically where you can give students points for completing a survey. And of course, an ungraded survey is the opposite of that, where you can just ask them information about the content or even their perceptions of certain activities and whatnot. The assignment group is where this quiz is going to fall under if you have those set and you like to organize yourself by adding that quiz within that group. I have created units 1, 2, 3, and 4 just as samples, and those were created in the assignment section of the course. I have the option to shuffle answers, give them a time limit. If I don't give them a time limit, then that means that they have an unlimited amount of time. So if you know that it should only really take 30 minutes, you can give everybody that amount of time. Once they start the quiz, they will have that amount of time. They cannot toggle away from the quiz. The time will still continue on for them. You can allow multiple attempts here. Here it defaults to the highest score. You can also do the latest or the average score of the attempts. Notice when I have this unchecked, these dashed lines mean that there's an unlimited amount. But if I put it in here, let's say I might give them one more attempt, I can allow for that. Letting students see their quiz responses, this was defaulted, so this will always be checked. So you want to uncheck that if you do not want them to see the quiz responses. But if you do, you can, let me go ahead and go back and uncheck the allowed attempts to show you that this simplifies itself here. So you can do only once after each attempt, or let students see the correct answers. But if I check this and I have 2 attempts, let's say I'm going to give them 2 attempts, I need to make sure that I can, if I want them to see the correct answers, that's fine. But this right here means that they have to take it at least this many times in order to be able to see the quiz responses. So this one is a little bit more restricting because it makes them. So let's say they took it one more time. It wasn't necessary that they had the 2 other chances. Then they won't see their final results, and you'll have to go and manually change the settings there. Okay, so I will uncheck that. That's pretty much, I think, what you guys, many of you will be doing anyways, is just allowing 1 attempt. Let's see here. I can show 1 question at a time, and when I do that, I can lock the questions after they answer each question so that they cannot go back. I can require an access code, so a password protected quiz. I can filter IP addresses where if I have a lab that I want them to take the quiz, I can put the IP address ranges of that lab. Here's where I can assign it to people within individual students. Nikki was gracious enough to let me add her as a student so I can check this on my own course, but you may have different course sections that you can assign your quiz to. If you do everyone, several of you have like 3 classes in one course, that'll just shoot it to everybody. However, if you have options, course section options, let's say first period is separated from second period and whatnot, you could even go down here. So let's say you have 2 classes that got to the quiz, but another class did not. You could go in and manually assign that to that particular class. So if y'all are on different schedules and whatnot. Otherwise, I can just get rid of that, simplify it. I want to establish that due date. So let's say I have October 2nd at 4 p.m. I want to make sure that I give my students time to be able to access that quiz if they did not, if they missed school that day. So it'll show late for them still, but they will still have access to it. Otherwise, if this were blank, then everyone is locked into this date and time. And so we've already run into that. It's helpful to make sure that you give them a span of time to be able to do that. And then it'll save you some trouble. And then I can save and publish it, or if I just save it, it's going to be unpublished, so make sure that you go back and do that. I can preview the quiz here and actually look it through, and of course re-edit if I need to. Well, that's it for the quiz features. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know and I can see what I can do to help you out.